Do you know how weird it is, by the way, that how weird it is to watch gymnastics, particularly a floor routine, without any music?
Should try listening to it with rap.
With rap, with the way they flail the bodies.
Yeah.
Just, oop, there it is. Yeah, well, that's what it is. This is the first episode of the Immaterial Gamers podcast, which doesn't currently have a name yet.
Woohoo!
Yeah, well, one of my hosts has already gone woohoo. This looks like it's going to be a very fun time. So this is being recorded on the 5th of August 2018, a week where we find that publishers decide they only want to give people a third of a game. The Evo fighting tournament has decided to keep going, and we lost one half of the Chuckle Brothers, which is now a bit of a quandary for furniture movers.
Yes.
For all brothers in the world.
Yeah, well, when it all goes to me and that's all you've got, you'll be questioning the laziness of your partner.
But you're definitely not getting things up the stairs anymore.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, well, that is the two voices of my co-host for this week. So, to the invisible left of me, I've got my good friend Stefan, otherwise known as Masamune113, or as he's now known in WoW due to the fact that you can't add numbers to your characters, Masamune.
Hey, it's a secret.
And to the invisible right of me, I've got the man that has the greatest fake rank of gaming. It's the General, it's Stephen.
Hi guys.
So, it's been a bit of a weird week. Started off by launching a website which currently has ones of visitors.
One?
Well, ones. It's not got past double figures yet, so
Oh,
it's all good.
I'm sure it'll get up there.
You got... Yeah, well, slow and short. But if you manage to dig up the archaeological site that is YouTube and you've managed to find this podcast, the first question you're probably thinking is, who are these weirdos? What is Immaterial Gamers?
I've been asked that since I was bar.
Yeah. Same.
Oh my god! Well, you've managed to get, the idea of Immaterial Gamers before I even thought of it.
Oh, you know stuff. He seems to know more than me. He puts that up.
Well, this comes from a guy who worships a pig as a deity, so
Frank is almighty and powerful. Leave him out of this.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't go against Frank. That's all.
Yeah. So no, a few years ago, we tried to do silly little videos of challenges trying to break games on the on consoles. It didn't go very well, but now we've given it another try and looked at moving towards just doing gameplay videos of content in the way that a bunch of Mancunians and a couple of guys from Canada can.
I'm a Mancunian. How dare you?
Yeah, well, or a guy from Gibraltar who decided to then shell up in Manchester. So
Yeah.
It's bigger.
So the idea behind Immaterial Games, we're going to be looking at gameplay videos, some little reviews on big games and little mobile games and anything that's in between. In fact, this weekend we had anything that, like I say, this weekend we've had our first review on there of a casual mobile game about farming.
Not Farmville.
It's not Farmville.
Oh, that's good.
No, don't worry, we're not going that far down the rabbit hole, but we'll go far enough. But we'll also be looking at podcasting, feature stuff. There is a gaming exhibition coming up at the Museum of Science and Industry in Manchester over the next 2 weeks called Power Up. We're going to be having someone who's actually volunteering there anyway, our good old friend D. And yeah, that's kind of pretty much all you need to know at the moment. There are a bunch of people with some shared experiences and not so shared jobs. And now that we get that bit of awkwardness out of the way of introducing ourselves to someone who may not even hear this at the moment.
Hello in the future.
Yes, in the future. When men are men and robots are taking over the world.
Yeah. It will happen.
Yeah, it's all good, isn't it? Now, we could probably just move over to what we've played this week. Seems to be a common trend, We play video games. It'd be a bit unfortunate if we didn't do anything. So, Steve, you got anything that you've been playing?
Well, I've just before joining the podcast, I was playing a bit of Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands, with a couple of friends.
Oh yeah, that's been a while since I played that.
Yeah,
I've not played that since the last expansion?
Oh yeah, pre-season pass stuff.
It's been going okay.
But yeah, so they added anything new since the weird solo campaign where you went and decided to do stunts undercover?
Well, the most recent thing they've done at the moment is introduce the Rainbow Six Siege characters into Wildlands.
Yeah, they're doing that whole crossover, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you can actually. Well, not only is there a mission for you to go and help them out, you can actually look like some of the characters as well. It's quite interesting, to be honest. Though I've not really spent much time with that content yet because I've just been trying to do the other missions with my friends because I'm a bit behind them at the moment.
I did like the idea of back of the old Ghost Recon, or sort of pre-expansion stuff when it was just this story of just a few dudes dropping into a country and dismantling a dude's regime from within.
Yeah,
I still haven't completed it,
It's great. It has endings. It's just your usual Ubisoft sort of
I don't
stuff.
think I have. I can't remember.
I don't know, did you ever play a final mission where you had to basically storm a massive cathedral with a dude inside?
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And then you didn't have any choice whether he lived or died.
Nope, I don't have that choice. So no, I haven't done that bit yet.
I haven't done that bit yet.
Okay. Fair enough. You been playing anything else?
A couple of PC games. That's generally where I get to spend more of my time gaming, but it's usually the same 2 or 3 at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm more of a grand strategy gamer, so we're talking Europa Universalis 4, Stellaris, and I've gone back to XCOM 2, so just playing that again.
Oh, you mentioned Stellaris, which has been brought up quite a few times at my workplace.
What was it?
A couple of my workmates having fun with the sort of race creation system.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty in depth, and it's great to see the races that you develop actually work very well in the game. Like I've got 9 or 10 that I've created, and generally when I bring the galaxy up, it'll have the ones I've made, and they do very, very well. And they just don't tend to survive the crisis events when the unbidden come in and just generally wipe out half the galaxy. They can't seem to survive that, unfortunately. I do okay if I'm playing as one of them, but generally, no, they don't make it.
No, I mean I've seen it. Overhearing them talking about races. I believe one race is a creation of authoritarian crows.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Really.
Yeah, which is one, and then they've made a race called the Ikeans, which are a group of lizards.
Mm.
Yeah, just screwing over David Icke every time he gets. Alright, so just them that you've been playing them.
Pretty much, yeah, at the moment.
Fair dues.
Tonight I should be going back to Destiny 2, but that's about it for now.
Destiny 2.
We need to do the raid at some point.
Yeah.
We need to do anything at some point. We kind of sort of dropped off, and it might be because of Activision Blizzard's plan.
Well, release
Bungie.
a game which is not even going to be a full game at full price.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, I was looking at the Humble Bundle, and they're going, look, get this offer on Forsaken and the next content, £69.75.
Yeah.
70 quid.
Hardly an offer, is it?
I bought the game at damn near 50.
Oh, I spent 80.
That's the collector's edition in it with the next season pass.
Yeah, but still, so beyond the point that apparently in order to be allowed story content that is barely there, you have to shell out 110 quid
Still better than the first
over
one.
2 years. Yeah, but that's not saying much.
True.
But yeah, anyway, we'll go by the by on that one. Steph, what have you been playing?
Do you want the whole list or part of the list?
Recently, what have you been playing this week?
On my phone, I have been playing Idle Kingdoms and crushed them all.
Oh yeah, are they both idle games?
Technically, yeah, they're both idle games. One's where you build your own kingdom and gain resources over time. The other one's where you collect little like minions and use them to go through dungeons.
Okay.
So like what Dungeon Keeper could have been, except
Oh
I know
no,
what EA did to that.
what they did to that was horrible. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
Dungeon Keepers used to be my favourite game.
Yes,
Yeah, I was about to say,
I agree.
as
It's one of
Steph
my
was saying.
favourites from back in the day.
Yeah, no, I mean, as Steph says, and as I've overheard the love for the first two Dungeon Keeper games, what they did to your baby.
I don't want to play it no more.
No.
Okay, and crush them all. Or was that both?
Oh no, that was Crush My All was you won your own little minions.
Right.
Idle Kingdom is literally just you make your kingdom. As you're going along, there's like there'll be forest areas, plains. It's really an early access game at the minute on your phone. Because they still have to add swamp area. They've got swamp areas, but you can't build on them yet. They've got mountain areas you can't build on yet. The maps are still needing to become larger, I believe, and there's a lot of updating on it to happen. The last one, I think the major big one introduced the shamans, so like knowledge and that.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Sounds like an incomplete game, really. Hope you haven't spent too much on it.
Oh no, it's free.
Oh, okay.
Now, yeah, this is the thing compared to because the way that people know early access would be from Steam, and the sort of the way that you would pay to sort of invest in the future development of the game.
Yeah, it's
Sort
a
of
bit
Android and sorry, go on.
like Rend at the minute. Rend's an early access game, which has become really popular.
Yeah, but how much is that at the moment?
Let me just check. I think it's something like 20 quid.
Right. But yeah, that's the sort of thing. You know, there's a buy into the early access.
Yeah, it's
knowing that if you
£23.
buy it early. So there we go then. So yeah, 23 of our Great British pounds gets you access to a skeleton of a game, and you can watch it grow. Hopefully, as it goes on. I know that there's been the years worth of not great.
There's always the risk
Stuff
going
happening.
for early access, though. I mean, it's happened before where people have paid money for a game and then, unfortunately, the studio's gone down because there's not been enough funding.
Oh, what was that game that did a Kickstarter and now it's not finishing its Kickstarter promises?
Oh, Stonehearth.
Yeah.
And that went early access as well to help with funding.
Yeah, no, there was a good video I watched on that. A YouTuber by the name of Sid Alpha sort of explained in detail each feature that was complete, what would be complete by the time they kill it with their 1.1 patch, which they've basically said they're going to do, and then a list of features in their stretch goals that they've said no, we can't do, or no, we're not going to do anymore. And it's not a bad video, and it just explains of the risk of Kickstarter and basically people taking your money and going, sweet.
See, this is why when I do a Kickstarter, it's for an item you can actually get, not for something that's digital.
Something that needs to be already there, physical, the way to go. I mean, I've done like 3 Kickstarters. One was for a video series which I knew was going to happen, and 2 for albums which were already partially recorded by the time they did the Kickstarter, so it was already ready to go.
Well, I've done board games. I did Town of Salem board game and Kitten. Exploding Kittens.
Yeah, I mean, Town of Salem was already established,
Yeah.
sort of as a web game beforehand,
Yeah.
and is already based on, a group game already. So if you couldn't have finished that, I would have been a bit concerned anyway. But yeah, no, I mean that's the big risk with sort of crowdfunding and early access anyway, and at least with Android and iOS at the moment, is that it doesn't allow big buy-ins for early access, if at all, at the
I
moment.
don't think there is any, to be honest. I've not seen any.
I think I've saw a couple of early access games where it's like £1.50, so you're paying the price of a normal app. So, as long as you're not Square Enix,
No.
what's that? You want to get Final Fantasy for Android? That'll be £17.99, please.
Yeah.
Okay, that's maybe just my, problem with it, but still.
Well, Square's
You had any?
Square's always after money though, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it's Square Enix. Steph, you had anything else?
On PC, I've just began to play WoW.
Oh yes, welcome to the world of Warcraft.
I can't promise nothing.
Not that drug. So yeah, how has it been for you over the past 5 days?
You say 5 days. I've played it for literally almost 3-4 hours.
Yeah, but you've had it for about 5 days.
Yeah. I just want to get to a part where I can join other people, mainly. I know I can join people. I've got a finder now to help me find people doing the same quests. But I don't really want people to do quests with me. I want to do dungeons and stuff. I just want to get to that level, and it's just trying to get to it is a pain in the ass for me.
Yeah, you're not that far off. We were talking about that this morning, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's just like sort of a few more levels. You get in, you can do dungeon runs.
I think I'm almost level 11 now.
Yeah, so 4 levels off.
I think this is the furthest I've ever been into it. I swear to God, I think I have played WoW before, and I just don't remember. Because I'm playing something I know for the class and that I know for a fact I'd have picked, and I'm sure I'm sat there going, I'm sure I've done this.
Well, you might have done.
It's like I remember waking up in this tomb before, but I was like, have you ever played this game before? No. And then it was like, what? No, it's probably you've either watched someone play it, or there is an RPG somewhere that's similar. But yeah, no, and it's funny you mentioned about WoW, considering that probably partially my fault that you had a look at it in the first place, and it's a couple of the other Immaterial gamers' fault that I'm back into it.
Yeah.
Hey, if it was up to me, you'd have never been back into it.
Yeah, well, it just suckers you back in.
Well,
It just really does. I'm sat there now running a new orc. She's level 71. She's called Immaterial, and she's a delightfully angry orc. It's great, and I'm sort of going back through the Burning Crusade content, which is the first expansion of the game. But Blizzard have decided that the best way of experiencing all the content and not skipping it is to scale everything to your level, which I actually kind of like. Sort of led for sort of new pathways around to zones that you wouldn't normally do, even if some of them zones are god awful. Some of them are early classic stuff that hadn't been touched by, like the 4th expansion, Cataclysm. Yeah, just awful. But done them, don't need to do them again. Hopefully get myself ready in 2 weeks' time, or less than 2 weeks' time, when the zones for Battle for Azeroth come out.
yeah, it's the next one, isn't it?
What, 9 days?
And, 9 days, and people have decided that Sylvanas is evil.
Yeah, I'm still more holding out for Monster Hunter 1, the PC.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. We still need to go back and play Dauntless. Because now we've got 2 big monster hunting games on the PC. One being independently developed by a team in Canada,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Vancouver, I
that.
think, something like that. And and Sony's Behemoth.
You know we've been reset on that as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Just making sure you know.
This should be the last reset though, because it's now hit the open beta, so everything's all good to go. But yeah, no. Other than WoW, I've been playing a mobile game in the name of Asphalt, or Asphalt 9 Legends. I've never played Asphalt's 1 to 8.
I've never even heard of it.
Never heard of it.
It's a racing game by Gameloft, where
Right.
you drive high-powered cars round tracks and do really weird jumps and nitrous boosts, and it's got a little bit of burnout in it, in that you can take down other cars by smashing
Okay.
into the side of them. But yeah, so far so racing game. It's got all of its good premium currency setting to play, but you get enough of it that it's not too much of a problem, and you shouldn't need to spend much if you want. But yeah, it's still stuck in loot box mode, but otherwise a fun game. And that's basically been my 2, because it seems that I can't play tons of stuff at the same time. I mean, I may have been playing some of the closed beta of Magic the Gathering Arena, but not much to talk about, because it's basically the card game on a computer.
Mm.
So, anyone else got anything to go before we move on?
I don't think so.
No, Steph?
No, not in a minute. No, I'm just trying to stop something from happening.
Yes.
Carl, I've got things running in the background of this, and I just clicked it and it started making noises.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good.
Hey, I stopped it.
Right. So in that case, we've been going for just over 20 minutes, and now it's time for some opinions on a couple of pieces of gaming news I just picked up off the website. Off, apparently.
Yep.
I stammered.
That's
How entertaining.
fine. I stutter sometimes, so yeah. It's
Da-da-da.
alright.
So at least I'm recognising when I do it.
Just what you're going to be known for now. He's,
Yeah.
he's the guy with the
Hello,
stutter.
Yep. You know, I think through all this, I don't think I actually said who I was.
I don't think you did, no.
You just don't exist.
Yeah. So I'm Ryan, otherwise known as Notimagain. Everybody, hi. How's it going?
Don't let him fool you. He's a computer-generated voice.
Yeah.
I am not a computer-generated voice.
You're the AI that's going to bring us all down.
He's the one who phones you and then pretends he's giving you a correct answer to what you said.
I'm rampancy defined.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, a couple of pieces of gaming news that I just picked up. First one, Humble Bundle. Everyone likes the good old Humble Bundle, even if it has been bought out by IGN and they don't offer as many Humble Bundles anymore.
Is when they took over, is that when they started doing the monthly subscription thing?
Oh no, monthly was done well
Ah.
before it was purchased by IGN.
Oh.
It's just they seem to be doing more sales and not much bundles anymore, and that was the whole catch of Humble Bundle. For anyone who isn't aware of what it actually is, it was a charity-based pay what you want sale. So you get a selection of games, you chose how much you wanted to pay, and you would get those games. And you could split the money that you paid to go to developers, to go to the charity, to go to Humble itself if you wanted to give them a tip. So you could, give it to charity or give it to developers. But they recently got bought out by IGN, and quality of the bundles has gone down a bit. They currently have a bundle where you can play some sports games, but it's not great. But what they have consistently done well with is the Humble Monthly. So it's a subscription-based service. You get a couple of games at the beginning of the month, and then you get a whole bunch of other games at the end of the month. And what they've done this month is a little bit different to usual. So anyone who gets the Humble Bundle or the Humble Monthly for this month gets 3 games. They get Tales of Berseria, Sniper Elite 4, and another game, which has disappeared off my list.
What games have you said so far?
Where is it? There it is. Sniper Elite 4, Tales of Berseria, and
Oh,
Staxel.
Staxel. I was about to say, I've got it up
Yeah.
on my other monitor. I could have told you, I just didn't know what you said.
That's alright. But yeah, so we've got those 3 games, but what they also have is a choice. This month they're offering Rise of the Tomb Raider. So the sequel to the Tomb Raider reboot. But it comes at a cost. If you want the Humble Monthly, you have the choice of either them 3 games or Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I'd rather have the 3 games.
Yeah, that's a personal opinion. I mean, for me, the choice is easy. It's the 3 games.
You already own
Because-
Rise of the Tomb Raider, don't you?
Yeah, from a previous monthly. But I'm wondering if this might be sort of the precedent. If it's now going to be a case of, right, so you missed out this 1 month. So we'll give you that game. But you're then not allowed to have the other games that everyone else is going to have. I mean, does it get a little bit... It gets a little bit cheeky of like giving the choice, or do you reckon it's something that should be offered more often?
Well, some people may have joined it for a monthly bundle that was the month before, hoping it comes around again. If they do that, it might get people games that they wanted from previous ones that they might have missed out on.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. I mean, like I say, for people who are already subscribed to it, like myself, who've just carried on going with it, it doesn't really make a sort of a difference for me. But sometimes I'm wondering, with the fact that Humble, its whole process is, get a whole bunch of games at a fraction of the price you would normally get. In the way that they value their games, do you think it could be possible that people might get, or they might perceive that they're getting ripped off?
In a way, people could think that, but I've not. It's hard for me to really make a comment about it because while I know about the Humble Bundle, I've never actually subscribed or done one, so you know more about it than I do. But if you're only getting 1 game instead of 3, then yeah, some people could perceive that as being a bit of a rip-off. Really.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from someone who hasn't done it before. It's just like I feel it's just a case of, wondering why you feel you're being given this choice between 2 sets for what should just be a subscription service. I mean, it's not like the other subscription-based game services like Origin Access or PS Plus, even what's Xbox One, Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's not, they don't do that. They just give you a fixed set of games each month. Now, granted, they keep you subscribed, otherwise you lose your games. But
with PlayStation Plus, you actually lose your games. I thought you just lose access to it if to any of the online privileges for it. Because a lot of the games they tend to give anyway has a lot of online presence.
I was always under the impression that you did lose them.
I'm gonna lock this up.
I mean, this is about as recent as 2013. But what happens to the games and DLC I downloaded from a PS Plus membership and decide to not renew my membership? You will not answer it. You will not be able to access the free games downloaded with Plus if you choose not to renew your membership. However, if you decide to reactivate it, you will once again be able to play all games downloaded from the Instant Game Collection. I say that's a bit of old news, like 3 years.
3.
But I know the same is true with Origin as well.
PlayStation.com, and it was updated in 2017, so just over a year ago, which is basically stating the exact same.
Yeah, so, yeah.
But
I
you
guess
get to
that's like
keep
the big
your
advantage with Humble.
you get to keep the free avatars.
Oh, yippee. I'll lose all my games, but at least I'll be able to look good in my profile window.
And any discounted games.
Ugh.
So any games you got on a discount for PlayStation Plus, which, to be honest, how would they take it off you when all you did was pay for, like, say, you got 20% off this game?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean on that. It's just, oh yeah, well, it could be, it's probably better to sort of lose content than it is to not have it in the first place, like the other little opinion piece I picked up. So, who likes Spyro?
I enjoyed it as a kid. It was one of my favourite ones on PlayStation. But to see what they've done with the recent trilogy remake, it's not great.
Yeah,
Considering the size of the first game wasn't that big, why should we have to download the rest of them?
Yeah, so this is the news that Activision are trying to make lightning strike twice with remastered trilogies of old platforming games. So based on the positive reception from people regarding the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, they've done it again by remastering Insomniac's Spyro trilogy, called the Spyro Reignited trilogy. And that, again, like the Insane trilogy, it'll have, 3 games. It's a trilogy. Hello. But the problem is in regards to the physical edition of the game. You buy the physical, if you download it from the store on day one, you will get all 3 games downloaded. If it's going to be anything like what they did with the first trilogy, you'll get the first game off the bat and the other 2 will download in the background ready for you to play once you've finished the first one. But the problem is for people who are buying the physical edition of the game, because, as Steve said, it only comes with 1. That's a 50 gig Blu-ray for 1 game, and the other 2 you then have to download via a day 1 patch. So, yeah. The problem, in my opinion, the problem that I can see with this is it's not exactly consumer friendly to people who don't have good internet.
It's not. There's still plenty of places around the UK that still struggle to get 20 megabytes, whereas there's others that have really high. Some don't even have more than 5, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
So
let's think of it this way. I mean, that's going on your assumption that everyone in the UK has a decent working internet connection. There are places in the UK, let's be fair, where having an internet connection would be the greatest thing in the world. But they can't.
Wait, where's this?
Upper Scotland.
Upper Scotland has very limited internet access. Parts of Wales is very limited as well.
Yeah.
Particularly
Even
around
if you probably say
Snowdonia.
parts of Yorkshire.
Yorkshire doesn't have it in some areas. Around Carrick, around Carrick Garrison, it's pretty limited because of the malls and all that.
Yeah, in Yorkshire, you'd just be lucky to pick up your loaf of Hovis and your white brick. You're not going to get an internet connection. I mean, granted, if you're going walking out and picking up one of those and your Daily Times newspaper, you're probably not going to really care about a video game starring a tiny purple dragon. But it's that thought of just this idea of technology going forward, and then the expectation that everyone is keeping up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a really bad thing, really, for companies to expect that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest,
you've got the thing. They're not actually expecting it. It's just the fact that a good majority has that. That'll be the reason why.
I can see where you're coming from.
They're going for the consumption, not for everyone.
Yeah, the problem on that though is that so you've now got a group of people who could just use the internet whenever they wanted. So why offer the physical edition?
Because there's still people out there that, even though they have the internet, would prefer to have the physical copy in their hands, and sometimes it ends up being cheaper, especially with PlayStation.
Well, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's the one that still gets me with Sony and their digital marketplace, of charging £5 more than a physical copy of a game to have less. If you get what I mean there.
Because in it, to make it all digital, to stop from wastage of packaging and everything else, instead of that, they're just charging you to have server space.
Yeah. I guess it still just seems a bit off for me. I know there's like server running costs and stuff like that, but mass production surely costs more
Yeah, of course it
than
will.
server
It's
architecture.
like places you can buy music from. If you go, like, say, a music store and buy a disc, you could find it a lot cheaper if you just bought it online with just downloading it. Oh, that
Yeah.
side of it's cheap. The only side of it's not is gaming. Except for PC. PC actually has it cheaper if you buy the digital copy. I find anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Xbox. I don't own an Xbox.
Yeah. Let's see how that would have sort of worked on the other foot with the Xbox server stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, can only go with what we know. So I'm just looking to see if there's any more dead space I can fill. No, just more seeing if there's any big
Gnomes.
upcoming.
No, not gnomes. Don't
Game-
talk about gnomes. Come on.
Just for clarification there, Steph and Darius, one of our other Immaterial gamers, have been talking about Game of Gnomes.
Hey,
So it involves games and gnomes.
hey. To be honest, I only started off saying we should talk about games and gnomes.
Yeah, and then he had that.
Yeah, well, so I'm trying to see where I can find upcoming games.
Well, you got Monster Hunter World coming out next Thursday.
Woo!
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I've already pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I mean, I could have already had it there on the PS4.
Oh, I could have had it on the
you know,
PS4,
whenever,
but
but
I don't want it on the PS4. My PS4 is not a gaming console anymore. It is my media.
yeah.
It's your media system now.
Yeah.
So what do we have here? Alright, so we got the remaster of Titan's Quest coming out. Titan Quest coming out for the Switch. Oh, already has come out. And the full gold version of Sea of Thieves. I wonder if that's actually had any more stuff put into it since it was last shown.
I'm not sure. I will be getting Sea of Thieves, funnily enough, soon.
I looked at it and it looks a bit, it looks nice and piratey, but it looks a bit too sparse for me. I mean, this is coming from a guy who would just love to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag without the assassin stuff
Yeah.
and just have it be the boat combat.
That's one of the best things that Ubisoft has done with the Assassin's Creed games. Black Flag is probably my second favourite Assassin's Creed game after the second one. The reason the second one still holds up for me as my favourite is because it basically upped everything as opposed to what the first game did. It improved on every aspect that it needed to, and the starting point for Ezio was a good story, and overall it played out very well. Still my favourite one. I think it's the only Assassin's Creed game I've got all the achievements for on the 360.
I liked Assassin's Creed until they started adding the boats. That's when I kind of way drifted off.
Ah, so you didn't like the boat
No,
stuff?
I did not like the boat stuff.
I would say it was introduced quite poorly in the third game. You remember they had it under Assassin's Creed 3 initially. It was only like for part of it, but it didn't work out that well. They vastly improved on it in Black Flag, and that's probably why I enjoyed it more.
Oh dear.
Not
Right,
everyone's
so I've
fan
found
of
some
it.
more stuff. Yeah, like I say, I mean, it's hard for Assassin's Creed games to keep my interest. I mean, once
I've not
you've
played the last
assassinated a
few,
dude,
so-
you've assassinated them all.
I've not
So,
played the last two, is it? Origins and Syndicate. I've not played them yet. Odyssey's coming out this year. Looks good.
Did you
Cool.
play the one on PSP?
PSP. Which one's that one?
It was the first one to have a female character, I believe.
oh, I know which one you're on about, but
Can't remember the title of that one. I didn't play the PSP. I didn't play the PSP ones, unfortunately. I do have China and the Russia one. They were originally small
there it is.
versions.
Assassin's Creed Bloodlines was the PSP one, and there was one for the Vita, which was Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation.
Liberation, yeah, that's...
It would be Liberation was the one with the female character.
It was. That's...
So,
See, it still always gets me how Ubisoft said they can't develop female characters.
oh, you mean like, in the next game you can make a female character? You could in Syndicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's that. I was like, yeah, you can have your female character take part in the game. I was like, Syndicate,
Yeah.
the sister. Oh, remember her? Well, yeah, no. I can see where everyone sort of liked and then disliked 3. I just liked my big boat combat. That was just me. So what have we found here? Oh yeah, Gearbox are releasing games. Got Hello Neighbor, which has been out forever.
Is it Anthem? When's that coming out?
Anthem's next year.
Anthem.
Should
Yeah,
be.
it's not on the
February next year, I believe.
currently. Yeah, 22nd of February is the slated date for Anthem at the moment.
I do think there's going to be another delay, though. I think. It's just a
it's
feeling
EA,
I've
there's
got. Just a feeling I've got with it.
It'll be always the case. I mean, it'd be nice if it was delayed and a good game was made from it. But we had the situation with EA and BioWare recently with Andromeda, where it was delayed and then came out and was still unfinished.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, when they released it, pretty much destroyed BioWare's reputation. It was already rocky anyway after Mass Effect 3. A lot of people still hadn't got over that.
I wouldn't say that Mass
Effect.
Effect 3 was the problem. I would have said Dragon Age 3 was.
I never played the Dragon Age games, but I know a few of my friends that played BioWare games.
I love Dragon Age.
Oh no. I'm not saying that there was a problem with the game, but apparently that was the reputation. That was where BioWare's reputation took a dive. Specifically, it was 2.
Oh, because
was the sort of the problem on there, but
3 became worse
didn't
because
help.
The map became so small. Was it number 3 where the map? Yeah, number 3 the map. I'm getting confused with which Dragon Age is what now.
No, Dragon Age 2 was the one all set in one city.
Oh, was that 2? Oh, and number 3 was
Dragon Age 3
the massive
had
map,
just
wasn't it?
like 4 open world
Yeah.
maps. But yeah, I don't know. I've got concerns and reservations about Anthem that I just can't pinpoint. But it's EA and they don't seem to take care of. They don't take care of their old franchises. So what makes anyone think that Anthem is going to get taken care of?
That's pretty much shown during E3, wasn't it, with the new Command and Conquer Abomination.
We don't talk about that one.
Oh, well.
Exactly.
No, I'm literally...
No, basically a lane defense Command and Conquer game.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know what you're on about now.
It's an abomination of a game. I'm so disappointed that they've released that. I mean, maybe if they had a different title for it, I might think about it, but it's the fact that they consider it part of the Command and Conquer brand. That's just feels dirty to me.
Oh dear. So what we've got down this list: Hello Neighbor, We Happy Few, So Far So games already released in early access months
Isn't
back.
We Happy Few already out?
Well, it should be out already, I think.
No, it's still in an early access phase. It is due out on the 10th of August.
Because that actually looks like an interesting game.
The concept is there, but I think from what it's doing is it's suffering from every other survival game problem, and it's trying to force you to go through a storyline, but is constantly stopping you from doing so by saying, you need to take a piss now. You need to drink. Joe, you've got some rumbly in your tumblies, you need to eat.
But it is a survival game. You wouldn't survive otherwise if you didn't eat or drink. I think you could. I think you'll survive if you didn't go toilet.
Yeah, but they never got those systems right though, do they?
No.
So, that's the thing. What else have we got? Guacamelee 2.
What's that?
Mother Gunship. Guacamelee 2 was a sequel to a 2D platformer about a luchador.
So We Happy Few actually comes out in 5 days.
Yeah. We've got Mother Gunship, a roguelike first-person shooter, where you create and modify your own guns to ridiculous portions. I saw a couple of streams on it recently. Does look funny. Oh yay, Shenmue 1 and 2 come back out, ready for when Deep Silver finally release the long overdue Shenmue 3. And I don't just mean like 3 years, I mean forever. I've been waiting 15 years for it. Oh yeah, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate comes out on the Switch at the end of August. Yakuza Kiwami 2, you will not see me after September, because I will most likely playing that to the exclusion of everything else.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll see you in September.
You will. And oh yeah, the transition game for the anime crowd, Naruto to Boruto. No, what? Naruto to Boruto. Shinobi Striker.
I know about it.
Basically,
That
yeah.
sounds like a football
Naruto,
game.
the new class. It does.
Yeah.
But apparently,
Ninja football.
People liked
Sounds like a good thing.
people liked Naruto, and it ended, and people didn't like it, so we needed to do a new generation of people based in the Naruto universe.
What? It's his son in it. It's Bruno's his son.
Is
Yeah.
I
he?
think so.
It's his and Hinata's son, and he's also got a daughter.
Ah, fair enough. And that's everything in August that looks good. Oh, there's a Warhammer game out.
They're starting to roll them
Visita
out.
Martyr. Yeah, it's the problem. I can't sound excited for a Warhammer 40k thing anymore because they just trip and fall over each other.
Well, that's the thing. It's Dawn of War 3 was a disappointment. If they'd kept the same graphics and combat that they had in 2 and went back to the map style of 1, then I think they would have been able to make a good game. But 3 just didn't work.
See, this depends on which Dawn of War you go for. Because Warhammer 40k Dawn of War, the originals, was the base builders.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Dawn of War 3 failed for me because it didn't follow what the other 2 games did. If they'd gone for the same gameplay elements that Dawn of War 2 had, and that was pretty similar to Company of Heroes, and they went back to the base building from Dawn of War 1, then probably would have been an interesting game. Even if they had the campaign map from Dawn of War, was it Dark Crusade? I love that campaign map, it was really interesting.
Dark Crusade is my favourite Dawn of War game.
Yeah, it's my favourite one.
I mean, it's a shame that Soulstorm tried to expand on that and
didn't work.
Didn't really work.
Yeah, Soulstorm didn't work too well. But they had the potential to make a really good game, and it just didn't.
I'll give it this. Lessons learned from Soulstorm was don't make every map end in annihilation, especially when you're facing AI that will always have one unit just sat at the corner of the map.
Oh, yeah. Just hiding.
Being a little cowardy bitch. And then when half of those times I was coming up against them and they were space marines, where the word coward should not even be in their vocabulary.
No, not at all.
But yeah, so we're running up to 50 minutes. So I think that's a good time to wrap this
Yeah,
up.
I think so.
While you wrap that up, I need to go see Frank. I've just watched him run into
Okay.
Link.
And there goes Steph's deity, everyone. Frank has now decided it wants to be one with the fishes.
Yeah, I've got him.
So we'll wrap this up. This has been the Immaterial podcast, which doesn't currently have a name yet, and that is Duddn't, spelled D-U-D-D-N-T.
Yeah.
Duddn't. Try and use that in a sentence.
I'll try later. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time. Fare thee well, and we will see you probably next week.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Woohoo!
Bye, everyone.